about we get Kamala Harris to do a DNA test like Elizabeth Warren? Then we'll put it to rest. She come black and she's, a little bit more black than Elizabeth Warren is Indian. And then we'll go. She can be black half the time. And then they say we are the weird ones. We're the weird ones because we don't want to go along with the insanity. And the reason why, and I've been saying this ever since they started saying that we are weird, is because it's a demonic spirit. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's true. How else do you explain this insanity? These people have a mental illness that's being controlled by a demonic spirit, 100%.
That was pretty amazing. That is Lindell TV host Will Johnson, who believes that the left has a mental illness, that they're being controlled by a demonic spirit, and please stop calling us weird. Okay, you think that spirits and specters go into people's brains and start manipulating their neurons, but you're not weird, not at all. Having the Trump bobblehead, not weird at all. By the way, you're calling for her to have some sort of like genetic test. How about you have a pronunciation test for how her name is accurately said? She's been in the public eye for years and years and years. You've heard her name thousands of times. Are you physically capable of pronouncing it correctly? That's a serious question.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
But anyway, this is a serious issue as well, because we had Donald Trump, who went on stage at the National Association of Black Journalists and said Kamala Harris became black a couple of years ago. It's subjectively untrue. His own campaign has referred to her as black for years and years and years. We're not gonna do the fact checks because it's just BS, and it's beneath us and beneath anyone to fact check things that he says that he does not believe. But as we said at the time, the reason he's doing it is to give license to his fans and his supporters to do the same thing, so that people like a Will Johnson can do a whole show about how maybe if she does a genetic test, then she gets to be black half the time. Her dad is a Jamaican man. That's who he is. I mean, do you want to genetically test him too? Probably, and you're probably wondering, okay, we got genetic tests. Well, when do we get to the birth certificates? Oh no, we're there, baby. We're already there. Going around yesterday, Laura Loomer, who talked about how Trump is more black than Kamala Harris because he got shot and he has baby mamas, just to give you an idea of her and her views on race and everything. She posted this. So she has a whole big thing about how her birth certificate, which Laura Loomer has for some reason, proves that she is not black because it does not say on the birth certificate that she is black or African, which is definitely a thing that appears on birth certificates. Birth certificates will typically said she black. That's what they say. The interesting thing is the actual birth certificate lists her father and his birthplace as Jamaica and lists his the category is color or race of father as Jamaican, and she thinks on some sort of technicality that doesn't count because it didn't list his birthplace as black or whatever. I don't even know what any of this would be. I love the idea that she did what she thinks is research and tracks down the birth certificate and she looks at it and she's got nothing, but she's done 5 or 6 minutes of work. So she can't not post it. So she just highlights the thing that proves she's wrong and says it proves her right. By the way, the father that she's focusing on there, this is him. This is, I believe, Kamala Harris as a kid being held by her father. And for Brett's sake, because Brett is an alum of Stanford, this is her father, Donald Harris now, a professor at Stanford. And we're gonna show you his photo. And I just wanna point out, he's a black man. That's what, I know that you don't want him to be because it ruins things for you, but that's what he is. He's a black man. He was born a black man. He's a black man now, and he's been a black man every one of the days between those two things. You guys are pathetic, the ones raising these racial grievances against Harris, and it's not new that you're pathetic, but have you ever been as obviously wrong about a thing and wrong in so many ways simultaneously as you are about this? I don't know, Brett, what do you think?
I just think it's amazing. I think it's so amazing because I'd be like, "Hey guys, list some Jamaicans you know." and they would list, they don't have a lot of knowledge of it, but like, I don't even know how to get into it. Like, it's something like 85% of the people who live in Jamaican are of African descent in some way, shape, or form. Probably higher than that. There's also there's an Indian population, there's a Chinese population that has to do a lot with like indentured service. Like, there's a very rich history of different peoples getting to Jamaica, most of whom were poor because the rich people brought them there against their will. Like, that is a lot of what happened there, okay? That is on its face insane, and they will know, and they will sing Bob Marley songs and pretend that Jamaican people aren't black. Like, a lot of Jamaican people aren't black. Like, they'll do this stuff. And then also to bring out the birth certificate thing again, it's like second verse, same as the first. They did this with Obama.
It's the same thing. This is
Laura, and Laura Loomer's such a pick me, dude. We saw her walking around the RNC doing that sad like series of laps, begging that someone would stop her to get her to do an interview and talk to her. It is so sad. It is so pathetic. You knew she or someone, the reason she did it when she did is she knew someone else was going to do it that's just as thirsty as she is.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, by the way, it's so predictable and pathetic at the same time.
This maybe should have been predictable. I realized that I sort of like buried the lead and just focused on the fact that Laura Loomer posted this. No, Trump retweeted it. So Laura Loomer is legitimately insane. You look in her eyes and you know that she desperately needs help. I'm sorry to put it in those terms, but she looks insane every second, and she has done 100 things that if a friend of yours had done one, that would probably be the end of your relationship with them, because she's out of her mind. So she posted this, which makes her look ridiculous. The former president of the United States saw the birth certificate that says that Harris's father is from Jamaica and that proves that she's not black, and he retweeted it, okay? And again, none of this is because they think it's true. They don't think any of this is true. They just like a news cycle where a whole bunch of white conservatives evaluate whether a person of color gets to be what they are. It shouldn't be up to them. Whether if you're a biracial person or something, and you have like your mom's culture is one thing, your dad's culture another, and you have like a unique experience of that, and yours might be different than another person. No, shut up about that. I'm a white conservative. I determine whether you get to be black, or if you get to be black 50% of the time, or whether you turned or something. Because I found a photo of you where you were hanging out with your mom's family. So clearly you were no longer black for the rest of your life because you once hung out with your mom's side of the family or something. They say that the left does identity politics because there is nothing and never has been anything that is more deeply important to the right than every aspect of other people's identity and them evaluating it, evaluating your race, evaluating your gender, evaluating your sexuality. They think it's wrong that people care about who they are, and yet they only care about what other people are. And them evaluating the tests, and let's go to the documents, and let's do race science, and I'm gonna measure your brain and everything. This is who they are. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.